Hello, it's been a lovely fine day today, and so I thought I'd come into the garden to record my Easter reflection. Gardens play a very, very important part in the Easter story. First of all, Jesus was arrested in a garden, the Garden of Gethsemane, and from Gethsemane he was taken and he was tried, and then he was beaten and executed. After Jesus was dead, his disciples took his body to another garden where a tomb had been freshly cut out of the rock, and there they buried his body. So in the next few minutes what I want to do is I want to look at the significance that these gardens have on the Easter story and how they might relate to our lives today. The Garden of Gethsemane was probably an olive grove rather than being an ornamental garden. And it was at Gethsemane that Jesus faced up to what was ahead of him. He knew he was going to suffer an awful death. He'd been telling his disciples for some time that that would be the case. Now that time had come. We find him struggling with the awfulness of what was going to befall him.
Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. An angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground.
He pleads with God not to have to do it. But he wasn't going to run for the hills. He knew his death was essential. Why is this? This is what Paul writes in his letter to the Romans.
We can understand someone dying for a person worth dying for. And we can understand how someone good and noble could inspire us to selfless sacrifice. But God put his love on the line for us by offering his Son in sacrificial death while we were of no use whatever to him.
How do we know this is all true? Because the Jesus who died came back to life. So let's come to the second garden. It was quite a different kind of garden, and it was probably owned by a very rich follower of Jesus called Joseph of Arimathea. Joseph had cut a tomb for himself in that garden, and he offered that tomb to the disciples of Jesus to bury Jesus after the crucifixion. Jesus was buried on a Friday night, and because of the Sabbath, no one was able to embalm his body properly until Sunday morning. So it was on Sunday that women came to do that job. They wondered whether they would find anybody in the garden who'd roll the stone back for them in order to get access to the tomb. But when they arrived, they found that the tomb was actually empty, the stone already rolled back. Wondering what might have happened to the body, an angel appeared to them and told them that Jesus had risen from the dead. And it was soon after that that Jesus started to appear alive to the women, to the disciples, and to hundreds of people all at one time. Quite an amazing thing had happened. Jesus was dead, but now is alive. Apart from what's written in the Bible, there is another way we can know this is true. If Jesus died to open a way to knowing God, then people should be able to do just that, have a relationship with him. That's my experience and the experience of Christians in Felixstowe, and the experience of Christians throughout 2,000 years. Jesus died that we might enter into a lifelong, eternal, and life-changing experience of knowing God. If that's what we want, then all we have to do is come to God and ask for it. That's the message of Easter. May God bless you.